Hey guys, every time that I wear this dress, like I wear it and I almost always forget that the straps are finicky, so I don't want to keep adjusting them. Hopefully they just stay put. I'll try not to move around too much, but hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you can hear a dog barking, please ignore it. I just wanted to come on here and chat with you guys really quickly because I've been struggling with filming. And like I don't know what, like it's not like I don't know what to film, just I've not been in the mental space to film anything, because this past week has just been somehow for me. And I was like, okay, like since you just want to talk, you know, at first I was like, do a get ready with me and kind of talk about it, but then I just like I didn't even think that I had the energy to do a get ready with me and kind of tackle this at the same time. So I was like, I'm going to come on here and talk to you guys really quickly. I don't want this video to be too long. What I'll be talking about in this video, I've actually never talked about it in detail before, and it's kind of tied to where I've been like this past week. And I was like, just come on here and talk to them, just talk to them, okay? So I just feel like I'm talking with friends, you know. This is not going to be very formal like my sit down type videos, but guys, I haven't been in a very good mental space this past week. Ever since I came back from the States, I've just like struggled with creating content. The first week, because of the jet lag and everything, I kind of tried to take that out to rest and do stuff that I'd normally do behind the scenes. The thing about the type of work I do, or this thing that I do, is if I'm feeling like crap, right, I can't come here and bullshit you guys. You guys are going to know that something is up. I can't like fake energy, you know, when it's not there. So I've just been dealing with a couple of things. Most of them were just actually very minor. I'm not going to be talking about everything, but most of them were actually very minor, that on their own they're probably nothing, but then you kind of add a lot of things going on at the same time, kind of turns into this big tornado. The reason why I also felt that I might as well just come on here and talk about this was that I remember that I came across like a thread type discussion a while back, I think early this year, where some people were kind of trying to figure out why I took a break in 2016. Because I know that a lot of you who are just following me, who are new here, you guys probably don't know that for the whole of 2016, I was not active on social media at all. I did not post on Instagram for the whole of 2016. I did not post a video here on YouTube for the whole of 2016. I just like took a break because of just like stuff that I was dealing with. I remember the video that I did early 2017 after I came back. I kind of explained, you know, that it was due to an injury that I have had, but then I've never really talked about like that period in detail, like mental health and just how difficult it was for me. Talking about 2016 is such a big trigger for me. I don't really like it. That whole year is like a blur to me. I don't like thinking about it that much. I also don't like talking about it that much. Not because some of the things that I was dealing with are things that have gotten worse or anything. That's far from it, actually. I'm doing much better than I was in 2016. It's just that I don't like remembering that time because it was such like a big dark hole for me. One of the main things that kind of led to where I fell into in 2016 was like a lot of misdiagnosis that I had that year. You know, people were just saying different things. And okay, so let me just like kind of give you guys like a proper name for what it was and then just kind of move on to it. So I had like an injury in late 2015, I think, that led, and then an injury that I had another one that I had like way before that. But basically, to kind of cut the story short, I'm kind of not going to, because even remembering like what led to the injuries, like the days that I had the injuries that impacted me the way that they have, like they are like a memory that is kind of just like plastered in my head. I remember those days clearly like they were yesterday. I remember what I was doing. I remember what I was thinking. I remember so many things and what people said to me around that time. Like, so I had two injuries. Like one was a fall, and then the other one was just a very bad twist on one of my knees, and it led to a condition called chondromalacia patella. I know that it's not something common. A lot of people are probably like, huh, what is that? And that was probably how I was the first time that I was given a proper name for it, but it's something called chondromalacia patella. that. You can Google it. However, what it basically is like my patella, which is aka kneecap, they're kind of hyper like mobile, so they move around a lot. And what happens is when they're hypermobile like that, what happens, it leads to a lot of irritation and a lot of inflammation, and then a lot of fluid builds up sometimes, and it just leads to pain and discomfort. So the falls that I had, or the things that led to the injuries that I had, they were not things that, there are things that a lot of people will kind of just dust, like if you they happen to you, kind of dust it off and then move. But everybody is not the same, you know. Our physiology, is that a word? It's so like our bodies are so different, you know. And with this particular condition, like it's more of like a female thing than a male thing. A lot of women tend to suffer from it than guys. So what kind of happened in 2016 that kind of led me into that very like deep dark hole was the fact that I moved back here. The pain kind of like from the second injury, which kind of happened late 2015, kind of just started getting worse and worse and worse. So we were forced to kind of like seek medical attention in Enugu. So did the MRIs, and that was actually also the period I realized that like MRI machines all over the world are pretty much the same. Where things get tricky is interpretation of MRI. And the doctor who was interpreting my MRI at the time, or who had interpreted it, or the people who had written the report. Because what happens is, a report is written and then you're directed to a physiotherapist, and then the physiotherapist starts treating you based on the report. But there were so many things, like the report from the MRI was not read properly, was not read correctly. So as a result, I was doing a lot of physio that was kind of making things worse, things that I was not necessarily supposed to be doing, you know. So at that period of time, it sounds so brief me talking about it, but then it was hell for me. So outside of the physio that was also kind of like the physiotherapy that I was doing, that wasn't necessarily making things better for me, because the physio was something that I was doing as a result of like misdiagnosis, if that even makes any sense. Like I go to the hospital and I'm told that, oh, after the physio sessions you're supposed to be feeling better, but then after the physio sessions I felt so like worse. For a very long time during that period, I even found it very difficult to pray. You know, I'm a Christian, for those of you who don't know, and I'm very religious, but then I was so upset. I was like, what is this? I've lived my life a certain way, you know. At least I should be guaranteed certain things, but that's not really how God works, you know. Looking back at it now, I know that period in my life was such a big learning curve for me, and it's almost as if like I'm not even like sad that I went through all of that. I was sad at the time, but looking back at it, there were so many things that I've learned that I've used. I now apply it to my life in present, and I use it to manage very small things. And I'm always like, if I could get through all of that, I can get through this. Mental health is such a big thing. That period also really opened my eyes to people and how they tend to react to things. I personally, you would never find me around people who are very, very dismissive, people who are very toxic, and people who fail to see, that can't see beyond what they feel like they deserve or their own issues. So that period kind of like, you know, that was when I really, really started taking mental health seriously. And then after a while, I actually got back to praying, and I remember that prayer did really help me a lot at the time, because a lot of us in meditations and things like this to kind of calm. Like if you're religious, you can also meditate. It's not always like the other type, the more popular one now. So I used to use that to meditate a lot, and I'd say words of affirmation over myself. And the thing about it was that I was letting so much negative thoughts into my head that I couldn't even see beyond where I was, you know, at the time. 2016 was a very big dark hole for me. But then after that, like what happened was that, you know, I just got back to it, moved to Lagos, started with work again. But then once in a while I'll get this like slumps. I remember that last year I had a vlog where I kind of cried a little bit. And, you know, I'll take breaks off, like just breaks. I'll take breaks from working, and because during the times that I'll take breaks that like I didn't have content, people used to be so mean sometimes. They'd be like, oh, you're so lazy, oh, this, that. Filming and content creation takes up so much mental energy, and if you're dealing with depression at certain periods, you just find it very, very difficult to do certain things. You can't come here and bullshit people. Like I said, you guys are going to know that this girl is chatting shit. She's kind of faking it, and I never wanted to be like that. And I remember that after that vlog, oh my god, like I'm getting a bit teary-eyed, because I know that you guys reached out to me. Some of my very good friends to me right now actually reached out to me after I had put up that vlog, and they just talked to me, and she just said, I know that I am here and all of that. And it was so sweet, because these are people that I wasn't even expecting to hear anything from. So from 2017, I used to get like, you know, just brief periods where I didn't want to do anything. By 2018, It's just gradually getting better. I'm not completely pain-free. You know, the path to this just being completely pain-free for a period of time, it's not a straight path. You know, sometimes you feel really great, sometimes you don't. I have a good prognosis, but you would think that physio is just a straightforward thing. It really never is. So I'm still really working hard. Where I am and what I'm focusing my energy on, especially this year going forward, is to find a way to make physio and workout something that I actually enjoy, because I actually don't like working. Like, I don't, you know, and it's not out of laziness or anything. I've heard of people who would say, oh, after they work out, they have so much endorphins. I hope that's the word. And they just feel really energized. That's like always the opposite for me. Like, every time I do anything strenuous or any type of strenuous workout, I just want to sleep. Guys, I just want to go to bed and sleep. And as a result, it kind of affects all the work that I have to do. So most of the times I actually keep working out for evenings now. But sometimes, like, I'm a human being, guys. And it kind of gets to me. The reason why, like, even I have taken breaks this year, but you guys will not notice because I've been really working hard this year. So what I've always tried to do is, like, with most cases, like when I've taken a break in recent times, because I have filmed, most of the times now what I do is, if a video is going up is going up tomorrow, for example, that video was ready 2 weeks ago, I try to be that ahead of schedule, so that if anything comes up, it doesn't really affect my upload schedule anymore. I know that this is all such a big phase in my life, and at a point it's all going to go away, but I just felt like talking to you guys. And this actually felt good doing this now, because I felt like I was talking to friends, and also to encourage people to be kind to others on social media. I know that it's very, very easy for you to come on here and look at people's lives on social media, and you're like, oh, their lives are so perfect. Fam, nobody's life is perfect. People are fighting battles, demons, don't have anything to even do with physical, have a lot to do with mental, that you know nothing about. For everybody who I know who's really working hard, and even those who I don't know, because mental health is such a thing, and I'm glad that there's a lot of conversation around it now. Please know that you're not alone. Know that you can always talk to people. If the people that you're talking to are dismissing things and making you feel irrelevant, please, I beg you, find someone else to talk to. And for those of us, because I know that age-wise, those of us who are like kind of like past mid-20s to late 20s, who, you know, honestly, especially this part of the world, tend to be under so much pressure, I really, really want you to try as much as possible to be kind to yourself. I know why I'm saying this. Try to be kind to yourself. It's so easy sometimes for us to be kind to others. It almost comes naturally for some of us, but a lot of us don't know how to be kind to ourselves. And I'm crying because I know that there was a time in my life where I was not kind to myself at all. You know, I didn't know how to be. So know that. And I remember in a Q&A that I did, I was telling you guys of how I've made a conscious effort, and I've surrounded myself with people who constantly remind me how well I'm doing, because sometimes it's so easy for us to forget, especially if you're surrounded by people who make things that you've worked so hard for feel irrelevant. Please learn. I'm saying this because it's also like at the center, and this is not just women, for guys as well. A lot of my friends, we have conversations, different places in our lives. The recurring pattern, what I've just noticed talking to a lot of my friends, is that we are often not kind to ourselves. Please be kind to yourself. And for those of us who are struggling with things that are maybe physical, I know that it gets so easy sometimes, and I'm saying this thinking of my very, very good friends, like loved ones, and so I'm thinking of myself as well. Please also be aware that I can't believe I've been crying for like a couple of minutes now, but guys, I find it so hard talking about all of this without crying. Please know that your body is working really hard. It gets so easy for us to forget. But your body's working really hard. Your body's working really hard to save you from things that you don't even know that it's saving you from. Be kind to yourself. Direct positive thoughts to yourself. Be kind to your body. You know, try as much as possible not to punish yourself so much. You do it sometimes even with us trying to fit into molds or fit into this image of what we think society expects from us. Be kind to yourself, and be kind to yourself, be kind to yourself in the mental sense, you know. We have a lot of people preaching that, but be kind to your body as well. Be patient. Be patient when it comes to your body as well, please. So I don't want to say I hope you guys enjoyed this video, but I just hope you guys found it helpful. I want my voice to stop shaking. But I hope you guys found this video helpful, and Kemesia guys later. Kemesia is later in Igbo, so later guys. I'll see you guys in my next one.